Hey guys, welcome back to Hummingbird Acres. Tonight I am going to make some sourdough blueberry scones. Hunter has been complaining recently that he has nothing to eat for breakfast, so this is going to be hopefully my solution for that. Now you guys are going to have to bear with me because I have not done this recipe in a while, so we're going to see how it goes. But I can tell you that it does require a sourdough discard. Ours is pretty discarded. I fed it, I believe it was like last night, so it definitely needs something done with it today. And if you guys are looking for a fail-proof method for creating sourdough starter, I have a great guide for you. I'll leave the link below. It has everything you need to know about sourdough starters and some great tips and tricks and some trackers to keep you on track for using your starter and baking. So let's go ahead and jump into this. I'm gonna gather some supplies and we will get started. All right, we are going to start with our dry ingredients. So that's 2 cups and 2 teaspoons of all-purpose flour. Normally when I use sourdough, I like to use the scale. This recipe isn't really in grams, so it's kind of hard to do that. So I'm gonna use the measuring cups tonight. The reason I love using a scale is because I don't get anything dirty and I don't have any dishes to do. If I use the scale, nothing gets dirty. So if you've never used a scale for baking, I highly, highly recommend it. All right, so flour, need sugar, some salt. Whoops. Just gonna put this back without. There it goes. And some baking powder. Now the fun part. So you want to either use like frozen or very cold butter for this next step. And what you're going to do is actually first, let's mix this all together. All right. Now we're going to either use cold or frozen butter. I actually have frozen, so that's what I'm going to use. And a grater, and you're going to grate the butter into your dry ingredients. I actually recommend using frozen for this because if not, just the heat of the warmth of your hands makes it extremely messy. Now we're gonna just toss this together. All right, and then switch to a bench scraper and get this all worked in so that it's like little pea-size pieces. Setting this aside. All right, wet ingredients. I need 1/2 cup of sourdough discard. So definitely a healthy 1/2 cup. I always do this. I always forget the spatula. that's actually only a fourth. Darn it. That's what I get for not paying attention. Into the sink. I need 1 egg. I'm living dangerously, I know. Right in. So 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. 1, 2, and then 2 tablespoons of heavy cream, milk, or half and half. I actually have cream today, so we are going to use some cream. This is left over from making ice cream the other day. Before I do any more, I'm going to clean up my mess. Towel. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Alright, so we're going to add our blueberries. I'm just guessing on the blueberries, as you can tell. Okay. Then we're going to pour this into our dry ingredients and we are going to gently mix it together. It is going to be very crumbly and you're going to want to resist the temptation and the urge to add like water. Don't add water. It is supposed to be that way. Actually, I have the spatula, so I can do this. Okay. Let's gently stir this up. I don't want to damage my blueberries. So as you can see, it is really, really crumbly, which is perfectly fine. I'm gonna go get a piece of parchment paper and we'll do the next step. Okay. This is gonna be my just in case. Then let's dump this out. Oh, so very crumbly. No big deal. Let's take this off of here. Okay. Now, without making the biggest mess in the entire world, which I can't guarantee I'll not do, I'm gonna form this into a disc about 8 inches. I'm gonna probably have to knead it just a little bit. I've always envied those people that can do sourdough and not get dirty. It's just not me. Let's make a little well. Oh, I should say, I'm doing this as a pie shape. You could also do this as like, kind of like a biscuit almost if you wanted to, just like do, like plop, like the dough down. I asked Jamie before I was starting this project and he said that a pie shape with the pieces would be more traditional and that's what he wanted. So that is what we were doing. All right, we are gonna call that pretty good. I'm gonna wash my hands again. All right. Next thing I'm gonna do is use my bench scraper. I'm gonna cut it into 8 pieces. And I want to push it apart just a little bit while I do this because I want spaces. That one went a lot easier. Let's just separate this just a tad. All right, now what I'm gonna do is transfer it to a cookie sheet. I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator for a minimum of 30 minutes, but you can do longer. I'm gonna try and bake this tonight, that way I don't have to get up super, super early to do it tomorrow. That was probably a mistake. I hope you guys saw that. Will it fit right there? Yeah. Hey, it doesn't have to look pretty as long as it tastes good. Alright, into the fridge these are going. While we wait for these scones to chill, let's go ahead and feed our sourdough starter. So I only used half a cup, and normally I try to discard at least a cup, if not more. So I don't have anything else I'm going to do with this tonight. I don't have any plans for it tomorrow morning, so I am just going to dump it in the trash, which is okay. Don't believe everything everybody tells you. I'm going to dump this in the trash. Got that taken care of. Now, to feed my starter, I do always use a scale. I find it more accurate. And I'm going to do 150 of flour and a little under 150 of water. I do this amount of flour and water gives me the perfect amount of starter to do 2 loaves of sandwich bread, and I never know when I'm going to do that, so I always like to have enough starter on hand. Good. Look at that. I'm only going to get one thing dirty. And that is the spatula I'm going to use to mix this. That is one of the reasons, like I said earlier, that I love using a scale. All right, so here you guys kind of see, I do my starter so it's kind of like a shaggy, soupy mess. This is what has worked for me, and it always rises, never really has a funky smell or anything like that. So wipe that off. And I feed this about once a day, whether it's spring, summer, or fall. Once a day, normally at night is when I feed it. Okay, and this will sit here until tomorrow. I baked these in a 400-degree oven for about 25-30 minutes. And then once I was done, I brushed the top with heavy cream and sprinkled on some sugar to make it extra yummy. I do have to say that next time I will not be doing it on this small baking sheet. I don't think I just gave them enough room to rise. And I also put them too close together. So definitely a different baking sheet. If you want this recipe, it is part of our everyday sourdough course and cookbook. I will leave a link for that below. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me at the farmhouse today, and we will talk soon.